How to build wealth by increasing your personal financial margin. Hello, welcome. This is Dr. Obed. Here I will talk about personal finance and wealth building. So today we are going to be talking about how to build wealth through increasing your financial margin. Now, first of all, what is financial margin? Your personal financial margin is the difference between your income and your expenses. Now, it's just like your net worth, which is usually the difference between your assets and your liabilities. If your income and your expenses are at the same level, basically that means your margin is zero. But if your expenses exceeds your income, that means your financial margin is at a minus, basically meaning that you are in debt. You need debt to offset your expenses because you are actually spending more than you earn, either because you are earning too little or because you're spending too much. But if your income is now above your expenses, that means that your financial margin is on the positive side. That means that you are spending less than what you earn, which is the right thing. So we are talking about how to increase that margin. Now, having a healthy financial margin is what helps you to live a life of financial comfort and security. It is with that financial margin that you are able to build wealth and become financially independent. If you do not have a healthy financial margin, you will always be in crisis and always struggling financially, which is where a lot of persons find themselves. Now, how do you increase your financial margin so that you are not in financial crisis month after month? Now, there are basically just two ways to do that, which is either you reduce your expenses or you increase your income. Those are the only two ways to increase your financial margin. About reducing your expenses, it is the easiest and the fastest way to increase your financial margin. Now, how do I mean? Your expenses is the easiest thing you can affect when it comes to your financial margin. You can always find a way to manage your money better. There is always something you can reduce from your expenses or even entirely remove. That is to say that even if your income remains at that level, for most persons, you can always manage your money better. And if you manage your money better, you can somehow increase your financial margin just by reducing your expenses. I made a video talking about proper money management, and I said that management comes before growth. It's more important that you manage your money properly before you even begin to ask for an increase in income. I know that you want to increase your income, everybody wants that, but it's important that you manage the one you currently have properly, because with that same level of income, if managed properly, you can increase your financial margin and remove yourself from financial stress. If you look at your expenses currently, you will find out that there is something you can remove or reduce. Now, the secret to increasing your financial margin by reducing your expense is to look at your bigger and more regular expenses rather than looking at minor expenses. Now, for example, if you are someone who likes taking morning coffee or maybe likes taking snacks, you may think that removing the snacks or the coffee from your daily routine is the best way and the first thing to do to reduce your expenses. But you may realize that focusing on your bigger and more regular expenses will affect your financial margin better than reducing just those little expenses you rarely make. Now, for example, for most persons, the biggest expenses they make monthly is rent and transportation and groceries. That is on food and things like utilities. Now, if you can find a way to get a reduction in any of these major and regular expenses, it will go a long way into increasing your financial margin. For example, even a 10% reduction in your rent will significantly affect your expenses way more than removing coffee or snacks. Focus on the expenses you make most regularly and the expenses that are biggest in amount, and try to get a discount, a reduction. What you spend in your grocery shopping, try to get better deals. That way you will reduce your expenses while still living your normal regular life, rather than reducing every form of fun and enjoyment from your life just because you're trying to cut expenses. Now, the second way, obviously, to increase your financial margin is to increase your income. Now, increasing your income is what everybody wants, and it's actually the best way to increase your financial margin. Now, I said that reducing your expenses is the easiest way, but increasing your income is actually the best way. Now, here is why. There is a level to which you can reduce your expenses until you can no longer go any further. But when it comes to your income, there is no limit to how much more income you can make. The sky is practically your limit when it comes to increasing your income. That is why it's very important that you focus on increasing your income if you are trying to increase your financial margin. Another reason is because as you grow in life, your expenses will naturally increase. For example, you are currently single. By the time you get married, that is an increase in expenses. And then you start having children. The more children you have, the more expenses you incur. And the more they grow and start school, for example, that is more and more expenses. So basically your expenses will naturally increase. So it is only natural that your income should also increase, because your expenses must increase. For if your income does not increase even more than your expenses, you will find yourself in financial hardship, which is where most persons find themselves in. So it's important that you increase your income. So how do you go about increasing your income? Because for most persons, they just want it and they just wish that somehow they will get a breakthrough. Somehow their employee will increase their salary. They are just wishing, they are not doing anything actively to increase their income. Now, I'm going to tell you how to actively increase your income year after year, and that is by having a yearly income goal. What it means is that you should have a goal of the new income level you need to hit by the end of every year. You are currently at this level, maybe 100,000, but you want to get to 300,000 monthly income by the end of the year. By having this goal, you will now go on to have a strategy, a plan on how to hit that goal. But it's very important that you have the goal first, because with the goal, you cannot plan on how to hit it. Now, depending on what you do for money, whether you are employed or you are self-employed, you will now know what is it you actually need to do. If you are employed, you will know that for you to increase your income, you may need to get promoted or you may need to get a new job. So if that is the case, what is the knowledge gap between where you are currently and where you need to be? What is it that you need to do to get to the next income level? Is it a skill that you need to learn? That way you will know that this is what you need to learn and then enroll for that skill. Is it a particular knowledge you need to get? Is it a certificate gap? You need to get that certificate so that you can be qualified for that promotion or for that new role or for that new job. If you have decided that this your job cannot take you to the next income level that you need to be at. So that is doing something actively to make sure that you move yourself to the next level in your finances. Now, I've made a video on how to increase your income if you are a salary earner. That video, I'll put it in the description. Watch that video to learn how to compulsorily ensure that your income is increasing even if you are a salary earner. And if you are a business person or you are self-employed, for example, you may realize that to get to the next level in your finances, you may need to scale your business. Your business may need to do way better than it is doing now. That means you should have a strategy that will move your business from where it is now to the next phase that you are looking at, to be able to hit this particular new revenue by the end of the year. That is how you ensure that your income is increasing. The good thing about having a specific goal is that you will keep working towards it, and even if for some reason you are not able to hit that specific goal by the end of the year, you will realize that your income will definitely have increased. You wanted to be at 300,000 by the end of the year, you may get to 280. That is definitely increase, but you may even go way beyond that 300,000. So, but what is most important is that you have a goal and you have a strategy for getting to that goal. The problem with most persons is that they have a source of income and they are not doing anything actively to increase it. Particularly people who are employed, especially people in government employment, you realize that they are at that salary level. They will want their income to increase, but they have become numbed by the comfort of that salary and they are not doing anything actively to increase it, because increasing their income will require a lot of work from them that a lot of persons are not willing to put in that work. So for some persons, they will remain on one spot for a very long time, receiving that same salary and waiting and hoping that their employer will increase their salary. And if that does not happen, they will remain on one spot for a very long time, even if their expenses are increasing. Particularly with the high cost of living, their salary will remain the same even if everything is going up. This will keep them under serious financial pressure. And even if their salary increases from time to time, the increase does not match up to the high cost of living for most of them. That is why you need to, especially as a salary earner, find a way to increase your income that is not necessarily tied to your current source of income. Get multiple sources of income. Make sure you watch that video on how to increase your income as a salary earner. And whether you're a salary earner or you are self-employed, you need to have strategies in place to increase your income from time to time. That is where the concept of multiple streams of income is very, very vital, considering how important money is to a life of comfort and security. If you have just one source of income, anybody who controls that income source controls your life to a very large extent. So whether you are employed or you are self-employed, you shouldn't have one source of income, because if that income source is cut short or reduced for any reason, you are automatically in financial crisis. So you should find a way to build multiple sources of income. Whether you are employed or self-employed, have assets that generates income for you that is separate from your primary income source. That is also what this channel teaches. Learn how to build multiple sources of income. As income is coming from multiple sources, it helps to increase your financial margin. It gets to the point that your income is growing way higher than your expenses, that your expenses will be trying to match up, but it cannot match up with your income. That is how people become wealthy. Wealthy people have expenses too, but their expenses is way lower than their income because they have built assets, multiple streams of income that is bringing in money to them every month. So much so that they cannot spend it all even if they tried. Thank you, and please do subscribe to this channel for more content on personal finance and wealth building. See you in the next video.